Welcome to the Fourcast, where we review movies, documentaries, and films like you've never seen before in a completely different way, 4 different perspectives. And on tonight's show, we are back. First of all, me and HRap think alike, and Wilks and Dawk must be having y'all side meetings now. So
and great minds think alike. So you and HRap, and then great minds.
Hey, as long as you know I'm not, I gotta get something. I'll be right back.
Yep. That guy.
You about to go change shirts?
No. Hey, man, I told you I was running late. I ain't sent out no links.
Yeah. We'll get that sent out. So we are back. Last week, that man COVID tried to get me. I'm back. He didn't win. But man, glad to be back, man. Glad to see you guys. Glad to get into this film, which I think was beautifully done. But it's called The Harder They Fall. So I'm sure most of you guys have either seen it around or you've heard of it. It's on Netflix. It is available right now. Star-studded cast, man. We will go and kind of dive into that. But let's kind of give our since we've been off for a couple of weeks, let's kind of go around the room. Wilks, how you been?
I've been good. Hanging in there. Doing all right. Still whispering good thoughts into the Cowboys realm.
We appreciate that. We need that, man. We need that. Keep bringing that. Dawk, how you doing?
I'm fantastic, and like Wilk said, it's since we didn't have the forecast, I concentrated on putting good vibes out there for these boys. Because after what happened with them Broncos, because remember when I told you when we went to the what game did we go to? Ben, what was that?
That was the Giants game.
Okay, so after when I remember when I was leaving that game, I told you I had never been to a game at AT&T Stadium and they lost. And I was up to like 7 games or something like that. Well, that streak came to a screeching end when Denver beat them. So it was good. So I started questioning my clothing and like maybe I put the juju on them because I didn't wear the same thing I always wear. Yeah. So it was good to get back off the mat with Atlanta. So other than that, chilling, man.
Yeah. HRap.
Interesting week, man, but salute to my cousin Tiny. Her mom passed away, and
I hear that.
Rest
Tiny.
in peace to my Aunt Lily.
Yeah, and I should mention, HRap and I had a fantastic freaking time on this show. What was that, Thursday, man?
Thursday.
That was Thursday, just impromptu. I became one of those viewers who was very opinionated, and I kept typing stuff. And HRap finally just said, "I'm going to send this joker the link. Hey, I can't be typing all this." So I got on, and it was fantastic, man. We had opposing views, and I think we put on a display. In fact, if there's some people out there that need to know how to disagree friendly, this is how you do it. And it was fantastic, man. Yeah. It was dynamite.
That was a good show, and I like the Thursday shows, man, because they really give a different perspective of different people. So I appreciate what you do.
Believe it or not, that's the way I initially designed the End of the Bench. I wanted a forum.
Yeah. Not just you.
Yeah, I don't want to hear me talk all the time. Right.
We don't either. Ain't no. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis.
I'm definitely Otis. I get that, man.
So we are live right now on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Roku TV. So BS3 TV. Go to your Roku TV or device, download it. You'll be able to find us there. You'll be able to find Queen 3 and King there. Be able to find a variety of shows, a lot of great content.
Some great content. Hey,
great content.
This past week on BS3 TV, man, BS3 Network, it has been fire. I mean, shows have been killing it, man. Elevate had a fantastic show. Man Talk Mondays had a fantastic show. You need to catch up with them, man. They've been banging out there. Life Happens had a fantastic show. Yeah, Cigar Chronicles. Yeah, that's right. You know, and there's been some
Right.
talented guests on there. Y'all need to check all that out, man.
Yeah. And so make sure you go download that on your Roku TV or device. Find all of the awesome content we have on there. All right, so let's get to the film we're reviewing this week, The Harder They Fall. It's produced by Jay-Z, which I thought was amazing. Shout out to Jay-Z. And then it was also directed by
You still go by Jigga?
Nah, that's like Diddy. You know, he go by Sean Carter now.
Okay.
Yeah, it shocked me when I saw Sean Carter.
Mm-hmm. I just want to take his old lady. I want to take his old lady to go get some Popeyes.
She don't do nothing for me, man. She got some big, pretty legs, and it stops right there.
Hey.
I didn't say I wanted to have no conversation with her. I said I wasn't taking a Popeyes.
Try that Megan Thee Stallion meal.
Right.
I got a daughter her age. I can't look at her.
But it is produced by James Samuel, which I did a little bit of research, directed by him. He is Seal's brother, which I did not know that until recently.
So Seal mom and daddy can name give people two names.
Oh, not the one.
Horrible.
Man. But this film, let's kind of give our initial review. I didn't really know what to think. I know it's a Western. I know it's a Black Western. And it just had a lot of, when you see Idris Elba in a movie, you know it's going to be a certain type of quality. I've never seen anything where he's been in where it was lesser quality. And then Jonathan Majors.
That Tyler Perry movie.
Oh, yeah, I did see that one. That's the one. Okay, that's the one. But and then Lakeith Stanfield, man, that guy is so talented. Jonathan Majors, which is becoming, I think, one of my favorite actors. I still haven't seen Cross. What was it again? Lovecraft Country.
Lovecraft Country.
Yet, but I need to see that because I know he was in that as well.
I'll say that, hey, boy, your black card is on.
I watched it. I'm gonna save my thoughts then.
I mean, I gotta finish it. I haven't finished it.
Me, I started it, but I hadn't finished it. But because of the buzz it's getting, I need to go back and start over.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Before we go into this, the Lovecraft Country thing is sci-fi historic. It is accurately historical. I mean, it has everything a black person wants to see in a
That's
television.
what lost me on it. The sci-fi aspect. Again, I say confused me probably.
The sci-fi is only the first, that one part that you saw. It doesn't return for like 4 episodes, and then it returns at the very end. It's very little, but it's, hey, trust me.
Okay,
when you watch it, put it like this. This is the only television show I've ever watched in my life that I need to pay attention to every single word said in the show.
Okay.
It has so many historic bullet points that it's awesome. And it put like this, that show was so powerful that this was one of the top rated shows, got Emmy nominations the whole nine. And it was helping black people so much and showing historical actual facts so much that they wouldn't continue it because she was finna take it to the next level. Look up Misha Green's map of America, and I guarantee you'll watch that show and like.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And I think she's getting involved with Marvel too. I don't know. I don't remember what she's doing, but she's
trying to sell it to Apple TV.
Yeah, somebody ought to pick
Lovecraft
Country up then.
Yeah, that's probably great.
I mean, if you can do Man in High Castle when the Nazis invade America and split it, I'm pretty sure you can tell the story of that map. But
yeah, man, Misha Green is so powerful artistically that it's insane. Look, put it like this: Misha Green's work is so next level that both of her TV shows at the height of their popularity have been canceled.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's how you know it's making an impact.
Right.
Get canceled.
Right. Yeah.
And we know a lot of those shows.
HRap on that purple drink tonight.
The pinky
too. Pinky in the arrow.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Hey, this ain't nothing but grape juice. You know what I mean? 100% grape juice.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me give a couple shout outs. Kirby Alexander, thank you for tuning in. Also, Charlotte Wilson. She's a co-host on the Thursday. In the bench.
Best voice on bill for this network.
Hey, won't get no pushback from me. You'll get very little pushback from the kid.
The other educator.
Hey,
So let's get to kind of initial thoughts. Like I said, I didn't really know what to expect, but I knew the caliber of the people in the film that was going to be good. Regina King. I mean, the kind of the list, we can go down the list that goes on. But Dawk, I'm gonna go to you first. What are your initial thoughts?
Yeah, you as soon as you said, with Idris Elba, you're gonna know the quality of the film you're gonna get. I was immediately gonna say, nah, with Regina King, the quality of the film you're gonna get. Because you're gonna talk about beast mode, and somebody that personifies Black Don't Crack. I mean, look at how long this girl been in the industry, and relevant in the industry, Regina, everybody little cousin, you know what I'm saying? And she getting down, man. So and what we got to realize in this too, there are going to be a couple of different types of people who like or dislike this movie, right? Simply because of the Western aspect of it, right? And it's going to either get some kudos points for those who like Westerns, or it's going to be some taken away. I happen to be a dude who like Westerns. I happen to be a dude who like Black people. So when you put them both together, you winning with me. You halfway there.
Yeah. Denise, Milk and Cookies, thank you for tuning in. She says tuning in from work. Sheila Patterson, thank you for tuning in.
That's low key.
Low key, yeah. I figure with the image. All right, Wilks.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like what Dawk was saying, and it kind of creeped up on me because I actually thought that it's like, man, is this Regina King again? Like, did she direct this? Did she write it? I mean, because she's been out there, and ever since Watchmen, she did great in that too, and of course other installments. But I mean, she is on it. I mean, she is doing the thing right now. I loved her in this role because I think it shows her versatility and her different abilities in acting. But yeah, been around. I mean, I remember from 227. I don't know or anything else.
Yeah, and I don't know that she's played. I don't know if she's played the bad guy in anything.
I don't know if she's ever really been the bad, but it was perfect in this one. It was.
Yeah.
I think she did well. I mean, the like we said, star-studded cast and her kind of carrying her own. I mean, she's got
some of her best acting in this. She didn't speak a word. It was just a facial
the way she looked.
The pause. That was some of her best acting.
Yeah,
and she had a different twang in this one too.
Yeah, it sounded kind of Jamaican, Caribbean a little bit at times.
Yeah. Poetic Justice. I think that's the thing I probably most remember her from Friday. Shout out to Patricia Mason. Thank you for tuning in. All right, HRap.
I mean, I loved it, man. It was everything I wanted to see. Black folks starring in movies. Black quality. It was awesome visually. It was awesome. Acting was awesome. The story was real. Awesome plot twist at the very end.
Yes.
I mean, it was everything that you wanted in a movie. And
yeah, man.
2 years ago, I made a statement when we were both still on X Squad Radio. I'm not going to the movies anymore unless it's Black people starring in the movie. This was something I would have spent my money on.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I definitely would have spent my money on this because I mean it was it was quality from beginning to end. We'll get to the plot twist, which that completely threw me for a loop. But the opening line, I wanted to touch on this. The opening line where it said, "Even though fictional, these people exist."
Right.
I thought that said a lot because even though these names may not be related to real people, these are real people that have lived this story. So I just wanted to kind of touch on that first. Go ahead, Wilks.
No, I was gonna say, like, I remember seeing images of Nat Love, him standing there with the saddle kind of down at his feet, but I didn't read much about him. Then I heard, of course, the Rufus Black gang was very notorious. They were actually in, which was kind of crazy, but I had never heard this before. But I mean, the Rufus Buck gang was into a lot of crazy stuff. And then I didn't know much about Stagecoach Mary until I actually looked her up. I didn't know much, and then she kind of started her, not the first kind of Amazon, but she had her own like mail service. I didn't even know that. I didn't know much about Stagecoach Mary then, but really good fictional. I mean, fictional story, but actual people. I mean, history. Bill Pickett being one of them. Bass Reeves. I mean, it just goes on. It was great. I thought it was done well. I really liked that in that historical aspect.
Yeah, that opening line was kind of like, okay, this is gonna be real. It's gonna be real.
Yeah.
HRap.
Man, the beginning of this movie just pretty much set it off, and then I like the way they did it. What they said, in my opinion, the way I read that was, we're just gonna glorify everybody from our community, no matter what they were about, and we're gonna create a story, and y'all gonna love it. That's the way I read that, and I did. I mean, I think I love this more. This might be my favorite Western ever, and I'm a Western guy as well.
Yeah,
Dawk. I like Western, and this might be my favorite Western ever.
And I just want to jump on to what HRap was saying right there. I feel like this is a Western reboot.
Right.
I felt like this was a reboot. I felt like it's an intro to possible more Black stories.
I would love it.
Being told. I mean, there was one lady that they didn't even touch on, but I think Dolly Mickey was a notorious outlaw. But whatever the case is, notorious or not, the story should be told. Because they're out there, and they have their reasons. Like when I watch this, I have to say, and me just being a comic book nerd at times, I got an Avengers feel from it. I got a Thanos feel from Idris Elba's version. I'm trying to create this land. You may not like. It's kind of like with David Chappelle. I may not like the way you're going about it, but I understand what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
So I felt like
that's a great parallel right there.
And of course, I got drunk camera.
Dream sequence. We're gonna call that dream sequence for you.
We're not really here.
Hey, but you know what? Piggybacking off what Wilks said. Taking it to the next level on what Wilks said. How can they be outlaws? Those weren't even states.
Right. That's why I said I don't want to use that term.
How you saying I'm illegal and the laws don't apply?
Right.
Yeah.
If I'm on a state, I'm not under the reign of the Constitution. If I'm not under the reign of the Constitution, I'm gonna need y'all to give me some go ahead on.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's why I hate using that term. I was like,
right.
Yeah.
For me,
that's why when you said whatever, I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. For me, it's a few things. Number one, life imitates art, right? And this is an undisputable form of art. Number two, I hope that they take this concept where it is real characters and we're going to make a story around those characters, right? Because life imitates art, these characters are strong in and of themselves, right? To build around. And over the history of our culture, we got some fascinating characters,
right?
That if you just took their personalities, who they were, and start building stories around them, I think it would be fantastic, man. And I hope, like Wilks says, I hope this is an introduction into that genre, of Westerns and bringing them back, right? Because although it was a Western, they had a very today feel with some of their commentary, the way they're talking to each other. They were talking to each other like we talk to each other. So guess what? I have a feeling that it was more like that than not like that, right? And that depiction doesn't get made very often, right? Too often they dumb that conversation down or simplify it or whatever. But we've always been the people we are. We gonna joke, we kind of people. We could be enslaved and we still joking and singing songs and jamming and whatever, So hopefully this is an intro into that genre.
Right.
I hope so too.
And that comment by Mrs. Wilson, that's I like that because that's
Spot
the first
on.
thing I thought.
Yeah. The references and recognition of other Black people like Regina King with the Malcolm X hand signal
Yes.
and the Bozeman on the
Yes.
train. Also, this is another great comment right here. All 3 female leads held their own. Definitely.
No
Yes.
question
I'm
about
not
it.
even gonna say they held their own. They surpassed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was their moment. I think it was
That was their moment because
Yeah.
normally this is one thing I did appreciate. Normally, Idris Elba has that strong role where he's gonna have a lot of talking parts, and he really wasn't vocal. It was more Regina King being vocal. It was
Right.
more Stagecoach Mary being vocal, and it was more the other what was her name? The other female.
Yeah, the singing lady. I couldn't think of her name.
Cuffy. I was thinking about Cuffy.
Oh, Cuffy. Cuffy was
Yeah.
a dog.
Yeah, she was not having it.
Nah, not at all. And I said that's my Spelman sister. So shout out to her. She went to Spelman, so definitely want to give her a
Sorry
shout
to hear that, but it's cool.
But the Black female fight scene.
Oh man, woo! Yeah,
long
George
overdue.
Brown in the building.
he just missed taking off the earrings. That's all.
Yeah, really. Putting the
exactly.
putting the Vaseline on.
Exactly.
Let me give a couple of shout outs here to D Great. Thank you for tuning in. Man, he is doing a show on Fridays. It's a hip hop battle show that is amazing. You know, you put 2 kind of contestants against each other. They pick, I think, 10 songs.
11.
They kind of 11, and they go at it. So that's on xsquadradio.com. You can find that. Rucker Park looking good. Bangs looking good and sharp, precise. Deborah Drake, thank you for tuning in. She's part of Life Happens on BS2 Network. She says, "Way to go,
Also
Netflix."
known as Kim,
yes, way to go, Netflix. That's real because it could have been anywhere else, really. And I believe Netflix steps up, in a lot of situations and takes these roles. I love the way it ended. Yes, we will get to that because that is kind of like what Wilks was saying. That is going to be a segue, I believe, into something else.
Yeah, they can't stop here now. They're on to something. You know,
no. This was too amazing to just say this is a one-time thing and we're just gonna move on.
Right.
Stevie Lott, thank you for tuning in. Idris was no joke in the movie. Now, when you see the whole movie, you understand. Yeah. But he just came in there zero talking. He it wasn't like he was like I'm gonna make this sweet and it's gonna be all pretty. He was like, no, I'm just coming up here and I'm taking care of business and I'm walking out. So that was a great intro to the movie, just because it kind of showed you that obviously he was business, but there's more to the story. That's what I got. Like they didn't give you everything. They gave you, kind of what you needed to see, and then they started with the story. Go ahead, Wilks.
No, I was just gonna say, I grew up watching other westerns with my mom and stuff like that, and even separate westerns. But that beginning or that opening reminded me. I don't know if you ever watched Once Upon a Time in the West. I think was it maybe Henry Fonda's dad or something like that, or he had a role similar to that, and they wouldn't show him, but he just kind of walked in and did what he did, and he kind of like traumatized the kid. Because he was hoping the kid would come back and, eventually, I guess, just kind of knock him off. But no, it was done. That intro, I didn't get it at first. I'm like, what's the pair? Like, maybe he screwed him over. Like, he stole some money from him. Like, I didn't get the intro at first, but it was great because it was like a typical Western. Like, okay, the Pied Piper's coming back. I owe him something. I don't know what it is, but I screwed somebody over. So, no, I loved it. I thought it was
they really got a nice way to do not only a sequel but a prequel with
definitely.
Buck's character and the interaction between his dad and what happened with dad and who his dad used to be, right? Because apparently he used to be a bad dude too. They got some meat if they want to do it. It's a lot of meat on that bone.
Anybody else, HRap, you want to touch on that?
Oh yeah, like what Dawk saying about his father. Well, even you guys said about the Idris character, the Buck was a beast, man. I mean, Buck was classic villain in the Western.
Yeah,
ain't gonna do a lot of talking. You say something, I don't like, I'm gonna kill you dead.
Right.
And I'm in charge. I don't have to. My reputation is solidified for my presence. Like Eazy said back in the day, my identity by itself causes violence.
Right.
So yeah, Buck was a monster, man. I love
it. Yeah. Buck was a truth. Right. Man, that was, man, if that was the eye opener, definitely at the end. Yeah. So shortly after that, well, you see he puts the cross on his forehead. So you're like, I'm thinking he's doing that. So when he sees him in the future, he knows it was him. Like you marked. So when we come across each other again, right? That's the sense I was getting. And then you find out that he was the kid when he's in that church, and the guy with the scorpion on his hand. And
wow,
yeah, that scene was like, okay, okay, yes. Okay. And then this kind of gave me vibes of there was a movie, I think it was called Sin City, where like the way the blood splattered and stuff, it was kind of like comic book. Like
I thought Tarantino actually.
That's what I thought too. Yeah, that too.
You know, because as soon as I started seeing that early on, I paused it and went back and looked and said, "This ain't no Tarantino joint, is it?"
That's what it felt like. I was like,
because
very Kill Bill,
right to the spaghetti westerns where Tarantino got it from.
Right.
Call Me Trinity and stuff like that.
Okay,
that's where Tarantino got it from. So I was like, oh yeah, they keeping it authentic.
Well, yeah, because like Once Upon a Time in the West, it's the same. It's like the same thing. It's like just craziness going on. So I mean, that vibe is definitely there.
Yeah. That was and so the way he was, I mean, that's got to be some powerful guns with this dude doing backflips,
picking him up.
Yeah, and the music, man, I wanted to touch on that from the beginning. The music was
music, man.
Right. It wasn't. It was reggae mixed in there.
Yeah, I trust me. I went to Spotify on a couple of them, Shazammed a couple of them, and added them to some playlists that I got. So they was the soundtrack was banging, man.
Yeah. That was another huge part of the movie that I appreciated. The intro, which was like the harder they fall, obviously, and the guy was falling. Oh. That was just crazy.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
Yeah. I mean, if there was any doubts of like how well this was going to be within the first 15 minutes, it was that part was done. Now it was just about what's the story, what's the plot, but you kind of get a little bit of idea.
Yeah.
But I was in love with it already in the first 15 minutes. I was like, I can't look away at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I love Western movies. But to see a cast like this and do it's of Black origin, I mean, oh man, I was ready for it. I thought it actually came out in October, but it was coming out a little later. But I was already ready for it. Now, like I said, I thought Regina King was probably directing or producing. I was like, man, she is going at it. Yeah. I was like, wow, But still, either way, I mean, it was good. I enjoyed it. Yeah, for me to watch it back to back, it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, oh, this is Regina King's, this is her film. And then when you look it up, it was actually directed by somebody else. Right. Shout out to Chef Fine as Wine. Thank you for tuning in. Says subscribe. Hey man, we need to talk because we want to get a cooking show. And obviously you got a cooking channel to get you on BSC Network. So let's talk.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That would be dope.
I'll toast to that.
Definitely. All right, so we talked about it was produced by Jay-Z. They kind of went through the dialogue, and then it talks about how Nate Love. You could see early on, obviously, that he was hunting down every single person. Well, it was two, really. The guy, I guess it was a priest, quote unquote.
Yeah,
and then Rufus Buck. But you could see early on that like that was his mission, and I kind of fell in love with that because obviously his family was murdered.
Right.
So he, you got a mission on what you're trying to do throughout this movie. So anybody want to touch on that? HRap, maybe I'll go to you kind of.
Oh man, that was the thing that made the movie slick. And at the very beginning, remember when he was in the church, he said, hey man, take that dude back and get $5,000 reward. He said, well, why don't you do it? He said, because I'm worth 10. Because I've been out here killing everybody.
Right.
And so he's like, hey, do yourself a favor. I mean, this is how movies should be made, if you ask me.
Yeah.
It was a very beginning. It was the plot laid out,
Yeah.
the middle, and then the ending. You didn't see it coming.
Right.
You saw flashes of it. You kept wondering. So okay, tie this together. Then bam.
Yeah. It was well done. Dawk?
Same thing for me. And when the priest in the church said, "Is it over?"
Yeah, you like popped up from the back.
Yeah. So the comedy aspect of it really got me. But yeah, I concur. The way it was laid out, man, seamless. So it was enough action to keep everybody. It's like it doesn't matter what kind of film watcher you are.
Right.
It's something in there that's going to hook you. There's some aspect of it that everybody's going to like. I would be hard pressed to find somebody who did not like it.
Yeah. And
whether they like Westerns or not.
Yeah, I'm not a Western fan at all, and I'm agreeing with HRap. Like, I mean, I haven't seen that many, but for me, this one goes up at the top for me. Now, shortly after that, you start to realize that Rufus Buck is getting out. Well, now hold on. With the money that they stole, I think that was before that part.
Yeah.
And shout out to Damon Wayne's son. I'm very critical of his acting roles. So if anybody's seen any of his acting roles,
it's like
I'm not the biggest fan. But in this movie, man, he actually played that role pretty well. And they were called the Red Hood
Crimson. The Crimson Hood gang. He said, because he goes, y'all used to be the Crimson Hood gang. He goes, but now y'all hoods is pink.
Yeah, man. That whole scene, and I love how they introduced the characters. Yeah. How they introduced them into the scene, and you're like, you don't even know who this is. You don't know if they're trying to do. You don't know what they're trying to do. But I thought that was well done. But that goes back to the comedy aspect we talked about. How it was comedy that we were laughing at as if we were in it in the moment. Now it wasn't as if this was so long ago that you didn't understand it.
Right.
And that's one thing I appreciated. But let's talk about that scene.
And hang on, before you get there, another aspect of it, thinking about the Rufus Buck gang and whatnot, once they got him, dude, and just the overall layout of the movie, this is the kind of movie to where you can really have half the audience rooting for the bad guys. Oh, yeah. Because they were so legit, man. The way they lined up 9 horses after they got him out, looking over the Verizon, it's like, shit, I want to be with them too. So I could see half the audience rooting for the bad folks.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. There wasn't no bad guys in this movie. Everybody was good.
Yeah. And Dawk, you being a horse owner.
Yeah, awesome. The horsemanship there. Matter of fact, my second time watching it, I was watching what's his name? The guy who played Nat.
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, Jonathan Majors. His horseman skills, man, I was like taking a very close look to make sure it wasn't no double, man. Because at the end of it, when this dude is riding his horse, I don't care how good the horse is, how well trained he is. This dude is riding a horse with no hands, right? Shooting both pistols, Right. And I'm like, man, there's some horsemanship on this deal, all throughout it. I would be interested to hear them talk about the horsemanship on it, because there was some horse riding shit going on.
Yeah, and that's the part I was wondering too, man. The how fast is it? How long does it take you to learn riding horses? And we're not talking about this. You're not talking about riding a pony where somebody's holding it. We're talking about you riding a horse. We're not talking about the pony show. We're talking about real riding horses with guns.
Oh
I wanted to ask you that to see kind of.
Yeah, no, it was legit to me because I was looking close to see, where they were cutting and stuff like that to see if it was stunt doubles and stuff like that. Right. But it appeared that Jonathan Majors did a lot of his own work, at least.
Yeah. All right, so that scene where
a couple scenes, but I ain't want to say nothing.
So that scene where they, the Crimson, like they steal the money. They were kind of riding off, and then you have Pickett. That was his name. That was the kind of the sharpshooter with the shotgun.
Mhm.
And so that whole scene was hilarious too, because Kim and the young cat were just joking around, and he's like, "Nigga, don't reach for your gun again."
Stop reaching, man.
I was like, man, the lines, man, and the young cat, man, he was real. I think he was a lot of people when they were younger, man. You showing off, you got the skills and the talent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we talk about it in a minute. You end up getting outsmarted, but talk about that scene, Wilks.
No, I just even just the whole setup with him up there on the rock, the characters, Bill Pickett, waiting for them to pretty much just one man ambush, kind of bottleneck them there and hold them off.
Mm-hmm.
And until the cavalry shows up, just the other guy. But yeah, that whole scene right there where he's like, man, you know who money you took? Mm-hmm. He's like, that's not just anybody's money. He's like, well, what you getting at? So it was just one of that banter back and forth, like you said, that chemistry. Like we talking to somebody at the local gas station or down the street, something like that. But yeah, it was just hilarious. I mean, it shot the gun out of his hand. He still didn't learn his lesson. You want to reach for the gun again? It's like, man, we talking, but I still see you over here trying to reach for this gun.
Yeah.
It was just, I don't know, man. It was just done really well. I wanted, like I said, for me to watch this back to back, and like not even thinking about it, I like literally just hit play again. I mean, it was just really good. Mm-hmm. It was done well. The chemistry was there.
Yeah, and that scene, they were really starting to establish the skill set of the individuals. Like this is our quick, draw guy. This is our, our sharpshooter guy. Et cetera. So yeah, I thought they did a good job of entertaining you while still telling you who these people are going to be, what significance they had.
Right.
And they're good enough, really, again, to go back and tell some of their stories. How did the sharpshooter become that dude? How did the, quick draw guy become that dude, et cetera,
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely could do that. I think a prequel for sure. And the chemistry was on point.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it was as if this is their second or third movie that they worked on.
Right.
The chemistry.
Yeah, and that goes a long way. That's because you can liken that to a head football coach, right, or a manager at a team, who brings a team together. So I don't know if the director gets credit for that. I don't know if the producer gets credit for that, but somebody has to get credit for the chemistry they created, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And it could even be somebody as simple as, just like sometimes within the team is where your culture gets established, right? It could be somebody like Regina King that did it, or Idris Elba that set the tone. How chill we gonna be. We a team. We such and such and such. Because you definitely felt that. Or somebody seasoned like what's his name, Delroy Lindo, right? Maybe
LeBron James' daddy was killing me.
Yeah, and I agree with Charlotte too. Often guiding someone in his roles. Yeah, he I think he was definitely there as in that role, but I think also helping some of the young cats for sure. And shout out to Derek Smith, co-host of Man Talk Mondays. They just had a great show.
Another great show tonight. Yeah,
phenomenal. He said when I first watched it, I didn't know the characters were actual people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the genius. That was another part of the genius of this.
And just bringing that up right there, once again, all these things that we talk about connect, because when we were watching High on the Hog, didn't that Black Cowboy Museum have a Bass Reeves picture and I think a Nat Love picture in there? So it's just all intertwines, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
And then the other Idris Elba movie. Now think about this: he was just on a horse cowboy kind of thing, right? With that other movie, I like he's showing some love. See, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Actors like Idris Elba, they could have. We use the term sellout from time to time, right, Brian? I think y'all were talking about it on your show the other day too. And Idris Elba could easily be the dude who I'm only taking white money. And they would be gladly giving it to him, right? I'm only doing big budget, white on, Jewish on, studios,
Right.
20 million a film, et cetera, et cetera. But
Right.
dude, keep showing love to the community, man. I'm telling you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's what I was just about to say. Y'all mentioned chemistry.
Mm.
I don't think it has anything to do with the director or the actors. I think what they're doing is showing how if y'all had gave us this opportunity years ago, we'd have took over Hollywood.
Mhm.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
it's just a natural chemistry that we have. It's not you can't direct that kind of chemistry. Either it's gonna work.
It's in me to do this.
Yeah, it's in me or not, and that's exactly what Dawk talking about. When you look at Idris, he didn't work with Tyler Perry, he didn't work with Regina King, he working with this group. Everything he was working with the guys on The Wire. It's like, man, and this ties into the documentary that we watched on the last show about the racism and discrimination that the brothers over across the pond that they're experiencing.
Yeah.
He just and it's not, he has taken it upon himself to say, hey, I'm black. And what I really appreciate is you can clearly see by his actions that this is a private man. You don't know anything. Only thing we know about Idris Elba is he's an actor and he used to be a DJ, right?
Right.
Mhm.
That's it.
That's all you know. But guess what he did when he got married? He plastered that black woman all over the world. And you ain't seen her since.
Right.
So I'm letting y'all know this is where I live.
Yeah.
Now go on back in the back like Denzel's wife and let me do this. And we're not finna be putting our business out in the
I
street
heard that.
everybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
His range goes from gangster to businessman to DJ.
And I don't even think we done seen the end of it, to be perfectly honest with you. And see what I hope this film does too. HRap touched on it. It says they would have seen what we can do. And I'm just hoping it inspires others, because I'm telling you, right, this film, if there was ever an argument of people that says we need to do our own projects, we need to make our own movies.
Right.
Let me put it like this: if I need to go sell an investor on this, sell the community on this, I can go with this movie and sell it.
Yeah.
I don't need nothing else. Just give me a PowerPoint with this movie, and I'm good. I'll sell it.
That's why I felt like I said earlier, I just felt like this movie was a refresher, like a reboot. It was like a reset.
It
was like, man, stay right here and don't move from this lane you're in right now, because you need more like this. I would love to see, like you said, even a sequel or a prequel, or not even just another Black Western with historical characters, or even if they don't go historical, but just that good Western, or just that good quality that you're putting out there now.
Let's get to this question from Derek. He said, "What are your thoughts on the colorism? Stagecoach Mary looked nothing like that.
Oh, she did.
For the pretty girl that played her. Yeah. When I looked up Stagecoach Mary, and I seen what's her name, Deezy. She was in the TV show Atlanta, but
Zazie Bates.
Zazie Bates, yeah. That is an interesting aspect of it, and I think I'm not necessarily bothered by it because she's still Black. I mean, it wasn't the exact color, but I think you got to find people to play that role. I mean, and I think she obviously was the best one to play it because she killed it.
I think I noticed that as well, and I did not subconscious said in my head, it talked about the colorism, but at the end of the day, we live in this racist country that's filled with bigotry and discrimination, and you have to appease everybody, and that's why they did it. You can't have, I don't care what, we can love it as much as we want. We can pretend that we're not living in America, but we must understand that we must play the role. We have to play the game, and the game is to make things appealing to the entire culture of America, and people don't want to see a whole bunch of dark-skinned people, period.
I don't know. I can't be so certain that it was a conscious effort like that. And the reason why I say that is because you and I both know, and I send them from y'all from time to y'all from time to time, is some dark-skinned sisters out there that's rocking it, right? So but in terms of finding an actress that can do it, right? You even take the chicken Queen and Slim. She's a named, et cetera, right? So again, I don't know that it was necessarily a conscious decision to say we're going to do this. And also you start thinking about things such as, okay, was Buck's character accurate?
Right.
I mean, come on, Idris Elba good looking? Was he? You follow what I'm saying? There was a number of characters in there that probably are not necessarily exactly who they were, intended to be. This is not a situation where the entire world knows what Stagecoach Mary looked like going into this movie. So it's like, she don't even look like Stagecoach Mary. You'd have had to go look it up. Whereas when you're casting a Malcolm X film, you need to be true to what he looks like because everybody knows what the dude looked like.
Michael X was all red, brother, and Denzel.
You get that part.
I remember because Malcolm X is a dude that got me out of high school. I don't know if I told y'all the story, but his wife, my English teacher, told me, "You don't read this book, write me a report. I'm gonna see you next year." Right. So I remember when that movie came out, when they announced the movie was coming out. When they announced my man Denzel Washington, I was pissed. I'm like, why ain't Fishburne get it? He looked more like Malcolm X than Fishburne. I mean, Denzel killed it. But I do believe it was a conscious effort because I just feel that don't nobody want to see a bunch of dark-skinned people on the screen, because what's sister name from 12 Years a Slave? They could have put on there the Queen of Slim sister. They could have put on there. Hell, they could have made Regina that same character. I just think they had to have a balance of color. And you're right. Maybe it wasn't even a conscious effort, but I'm telling you, I believe they said, "Hey, man, we just look." I'm listening to Eddie Murphy. He's saying that they made him put Louis Anderson in that damn movie.
Really?
Coming to America. Forced him. Louis Anderson was forced into that. So this is the same Hollywood. Jay-Z, you putting up your money, but at the end of the day, look. This is why the reason these movies are being made is because America has a financial Achilles heel. When it's time to make money, the discrimination kind of like weighs to the side. But at the same time, we ain't gonna let y'all get all the way away with it. We gonna bring some y'all gonna either bring some white people in this or gonna bring some black people. I just believe it was that. Yeah. I'm wrong.
Now let's say this: Miss Betts is a fantastic actor. So I think also too. I think you are right, HRap, but I think they just couldn't put any old person on there either.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah. She's super dope.
I kind of feel like this was also because kind of what was going on the past few years. I think it's really just to show, that black is beautiful in whatever shade, I guess is what I didn't really look too much into it, but I kind of got that from that. It's almost like, you have a medium range, dark range, in between, whatever. I just felt like it was just one of those, they all come together. It works. She's rocking the natural hair. It's always the same. Mm-hmm. I think it was just one of those things. And it could have been slight representation in there, but I just think it was one of those, we're all beautiful and no matter what the shade is when it comes to us, black people. But I don't know. I didn't really go that far into it.
My favorite movie with her is High Flying Birds. Had to look it up. If you get a chance, watch High Flying Birds. It's a powerful movie.
Check that out.
All right. So there was one other comment as well. Deon Cole surprised me because everything he's in, he's purposely funny. Now he was funny in this when the scene came to
when he was eating that steak.
He was funny.
Yeah, I'm saying it too.
But he wasn't purposely funny. He it's like he had to act in this. You can't just be Deon Cole, the funny guy.
Right.
So I did appreciate that.
Yeah, that was different. Yeah. I was like, no way he talking to Rufus Buck like that. I was like,
I know. He never got to the end.
Yeah, right.
Derek says you have a point. Even the last Coming to America had the white guy from Saturday Night Live in it. There was a guy from Saturday Night Live in it.
Oh yeah,
I don't know his name.
Gosh,
Taram
He's at the
Killam,
very
probably.
beginning. He was the
What's
boss.
the-
He was
he's
interviewing,
on He's on the new,
Yeah. Taram Killam. I know.
yeah, he's on the new. I think he's married to Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
There's always controversy about colorism. Lynn Whitfield as Josephine Baker and Halle Berry. Yeah. I agree with that. All right, so we get to the scene or the kind of the sequence of Rufus Buck is getting up. So I'm thinking like, I don't even know. I just know him from that beginning scene, but I'm like, oh shit, it's about to get
Right.
it's about to get real with this dude coming out. Because not only did somebody steal his money, he's already angry that he's been in jail.
Right.
So whatever his plan and mission is, it's not gonna be cute. That was my like initial thought. But I didn't know how he was getting out. Obviously, he wasn't getting out because he served his time. I mean, he was getting out for some other reason.
Yeah.
So let's kind of go to that scene or that sequence there. Wilks, what was your thoughts?
First of all, let me just give it up to Mr. Stanfield, because the whole scene on the train was just amazing. But even before that, Regina King stopping the train. He's like, I don't care what nincompoop. Yeah, I mean, it stops like it ends. They gonna get it.
Their dialogue back and forth was
right.
Great.
The banter was just greatness. I mean, once again, I know we're not really using the word chemistry, but that excellence that's there.
Yeah.
You know, it's just it just flowed. I mean, they probably could have not even had scripts and just kind of went back and forth, you know, and just did this and we wouldn't have known. But yeah, that train scene was amazing. Lakeith Stanfield, I mean, my goodness, just great.
It was a national treasure, okay? I don't know if he hasn't won anything. We need to give him an award. We need to send him an award from us. We reviewed multiple movies he's been in.
Yes. No,
Lakeith Stanfield's story is awesome. You know, he got his acting start just like Tupac did. Tupac got his acting start going to a rehearsal with his boy. His boy was trying to get the acting job, and Tupac just tagged along. Lakeith was like, he just looked up how I want to be an actor in the Yellow Pages, and then went to some.
Yeah, that's what I think you were saying that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lakeith Stanfield. First of all, the way the entire train got stopped with Regina King on her horse in front of it was, amazing.
Greatness.
But yeah, Lakeith Stanfield. You want to talk about? We've talked about a lot of brothers' range. Lakeith Stanfield is in that conversation in terms of range. You know what he did in Atlanta, what he did here, what he did in Get Out. You know, he's shown that it doesn't matter what you put him in, he can do it. You know, the what's the other movie that we
Judas
and the Black Messiah.
Yep.
You know, this dude.
And then he don't like Charlamagne the God.
Yeah. Huh?
And he don't like Charlamagne the God.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he called him out on the show.
He can't stand Charlamagne the God.
Really?
That alone gets me at the theater.
Yeah,
well, please go tell me.
But yeah, it's like this. I would imagine. Check this out. This is an aspect that we don't look at very often. I bet he don't get as many roles as he should get because of folks knowing how talented he is. They're intimidated. They're trying to say, where he may qualify for a co-star in a role or something like that. Right. Bet you he don't get it because they like, hell no, he ain't finna outshine me. It's like putting a great band as your opening act, and then you got to go up there and pull it off. You know, it's like, God, dog, I got to.
It's like Prince opening for Rick James.
Yeah, eventually, right? Yeah.
But I think also with Lakeith is that he does it so smooth. It looks like it's effortless. He not straining. He not trying to remember lines. When he died in this movie, he just walked out and just fell down.
Yeah,
like the guy, man. Anything that he's in, which I want to see. Knives. I think it's called Knives Out.
He's great in that too. A detective.
I want to see that. He's played a detective.
Yeah, but he's so smart. His humor. He's so smart. In what he's saying, right? Like he's being slick to these cats. Like, hey, I'm really not a man of violence. Although I'm with some.
If something happens,
with some people that are violent.
Whatever.
I think an overarching point in this movie that I appreciate too is that we were not subservient to white people in this movie at all. At all. I appreciate that. I didn't want to see us kneeling down and
Yeah.
and kissing feet and all that. And it was like, nah, we running this. Y'all running from us. We ain't running from y'all.
Right. Exactly.
That was from the, and then on that train scene too, the Regina King dialogue, like all of them, they came in like bosses. They were bosses.
Oh, and excuse my friend, she's not much on mathematics.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he was gonna give him 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So then he came back and said, okay, 7 seconds.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they were hired by the government to go take this crooked military dude out,
Right.
and as a compensation, we're gonna let your boy go.
Which was another historical character, because when I looked up the Rufus Buck game, they mentioned that guy when I was reading about that. So that guy existed too.
Which lets you know they knew Rufus shouldn't have been locked up. That means Rufus got locked up for potentially creating that town.
Yeah,
that J. Edgar Hoover face.
That was his grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy.
Yeah.
All
right, HRap, if you want to, anything you want to add on to that scene?
Man. I mean, that scene was awesome. The when he walked out of that cage, it's the best scene I've seen in the movie.
Look at here.
The last time I saw something that good was Face Off. Remember when they went to what's his name, crib, and they just had that shootout. And she supposed to save the boy, and he was just what Nicolas Cage saved Travolta's son, and he was just walking through popping people like.
Right, okay.
Everybody else was panicking. He was just like, "Okay, you gonna die too."
Right.
The funniest part was like, all right, who can? What did he say? Who can
operate the train?
Who can operate the train?
Yeah.
And the kid was like, everybody but him.
Yeah. He walked out while they took everybody out. But before he came out from behind where he was locked up at, and Regina King walked up to it. You want to talk about some dramatic, interpretation, where she goes and puts her hand on, the door of the, cell he was in, and and they show her look on her face, and they show her heart rate changes, and I mean, that was a powerful deal, back there, where she was like, "We're so connected. I'll know if he's in here or not."
Right.
And when she felt that, they just set up the magnitude of this dude who's going to get let out of here, I thought they did a fantastic job with that.
And when he stepped out of there, he just kind of laid his head on her shoulder.
Right, man.
That I think that showed the vulnerability too. Like dude's not a monster.
Right.
He's got feelings, and so that was that was spot on. So he gets out. But before we get into that, it's about that time of the show that we like to call Beauty of the Week. Beauty of the Week.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Boo, 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 boo,
I was trying to
Scooby Dooby, wow. They hit him with the golden small.
Oh, was it mute? You on mute? Did you hit mute?
Yep, I think you're on mute.
Did you hit the mute? You hit the mute?
accidentally.
There we go.
Okay, the beauty of the week, man. Zazie Bates, Stagecoach Mary herself. Beauty of the week. It was a easy decision for me because I happen to be a fan already. See, I need a few minutes.
Half German.
I need a few minutes. Yeah, she got the. She's actually a German American, so she's an American, but she's has German roots or whatnot. Yes. As we discussed before, she starred in Atlanta on FX, and she's bad, man. Out of Berlin, Germany. So I am so glad the wall came down so she can get over here. Yeah, she was born 2 years after the wall came down, actually. But anyway, yeah, it's Zazie Bates, man, and it ain't even close. It ain't even close.
Yeah, she's
put a picture up one more time.
Yeah, when I seen her in this, I was
This is
like,
in Deadpool 2.
Deadpool 2, yep.
Yeah, and she would rock that natural.
Yep.
And yeah.
Hey,
I like it.
He said she got a natural.
Yeah.
This is an old guy.
She got a blow. Hey, here we go, HRap. She got that blowout working, baby. Yeah.
Said she got a natural. I ain't heard nobody say natural system.
You got a natural.
Summer 58.
Yeah. Now I'll say this.
Elba, Texas.
I didn't know I didn't know how her role was gonna be, because in Atlanta she's just kind of like the laid back kind of girlfriend. So I didn't kind of know what to expect, but I was impressed with her range in this, because she had to play the business owner role, she had to play the hard role, she had to play, you know, I'm looking out for my dude, I'm gonna come all the way over here in a town where I know it's against me, to kind of
there were two classic screams in this movie. One of them was the little kid right after, when his dad, when they shot his mama. That scream after that kid, you want to be moved. If you want to know whether you're still living or not, play that scene where that kid screamed. The second one is the primal scream she let out when she knocked Regina King out finally with that butt of that rifle. Yeah. Oh, the scream she let out. Oh man, I know she had to take a minute after that, because that was too real, man.
And I just wanted to say, I guess y'all have to forgive me. You know how I am, but damn, that kid was ugly in the beginning. I was like, damn, this nigga is gross. What? But I'm just saying. Sorry.
Wow.
I just had to get that. I apologize.
And that's why his nickname is Mayhem.
Sorry, Sorry.
I was confused. I mean, think about it. That casting may be a little accurate, because Jonathan Majors ain't the most handsome dude on the planet.
Well, when I saw who was
concerned about him taking over his sex symbol.
Well, when I put the two noses together, I was like, I get it. But the brother was still broken.
Wow.
Now the parents, that guy died because of what he did in Waiting to Exhale. That's the reason why he got shot. Man, that was payback from a long movie. But the female that played his mom, she was in She's Gotta Have It, which is on Netflix, but it got canceled after 2 seasons. But she's a talented actor too, so just wanted to point them out real quick.
And that's inaccurate. Y'all heard what Ben just said? He said she's a talented actor as well. So now we're not calling them actors and actresses. We're calling all of them actors. That's another show, but that's what that's what the deal is nowadays.
Sorry,
don't think that was a slip of the tongue.
Actress.
Not me.
Huh?
I'm keeping it the way I was.
That's not a slip of the. Well, Ben is capitulating. That was not a slip of the tongue by any stretch of the imagination.
You going Jesse Jackson over here?
Reverend Deacon Doctor.
But so we kind of touched on the music, which I love the reggae. If anybody remembers that song by Shine, Shine's debut song, I think it was that single with Barrington.
Bad Boy,
exactly. That mean the music went perfect with it. There's, to me, and I want to get you guys' thoughts on this. The music with the movie has to flow together. If it doesn't, I can't get with it. And I think going back to Beckett, I think that was partly part of the Beckett problem is that music. But anyway, go ahead, Wilks.
No, I was just gonna say kind of what you were just saying. Like, I have to honestly say, I the music in here kind of took me back at first. I was like, this doesn't go with what, but I was like, okay, I see what you're doing. And then after it kind of grew on me, but yeah, the music was great. I mean, yeah, even when she rode into town and they were playing that Black Woman song, I mean, it was great. I mean,
You know what's crazy? I never hear the music until I watched the movie the second time.
Really?
No,
never-
that's something.
I almost hear that first.
Yeah.
Just think about this, man. Think about how many times we've mentioned the soundtrack in the films that we have reviewed. It is a recurring theme. They coming with it, you know.
Yeah.
Now it's not it's not that they don't sell soundtracks like they used to, but it used to be a big deal to buy soundtracks.
Oh
from
yeah, that was huge.
you know. But yeah, they still the score means something.
Yeah. Well, because Quentin Tarantino, I don't know if he still does this now when he does a movie, but he said he has the score before he even has the script. He has his soundtrack or the music he wants before he even gets the script laid out.
Sometimes it can help tell the story.
Yeah.
You know, you only have so much time, whenever you're, creating a movie, right? You're creating a film. You only got so much time to tell the story. So you better use all the resources at your disposal to tell it. Yeah. Like for instance, okay, so we talked about, how they talk to each other and the comedy aspect and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And what it made me think about is I said they talk like we talk to each other. Friends talk shit to each other. Right. And it made me think about HRap in Big Illinois, right? Right. The HRap in Big Illinois is always, there's no way you can talk to somebody about like every time you see him like, oh, that joker got going to jail. And if he returned his call, he talking to Big Illinois in a way that I'm not going to talk to Big Illinois that way. Because I don't have that kind of relationship with him, right?
You got to respect
but you can tell the folks who have that kind of relationship based on how they communicate with each other, right? Right. And so that's another thing that I thought they did a fantastic job with by having them talk to each other like that. You could tell they was close. Because if they wasn't, and then they tied it in at the end when some folks started to die off and stuff like that, you saw exactly how close they were.
Mm-hmm. You've definitely seen that heartbreak.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes.
And low key with a great comment, the unspoken word between King and Elba, loyalty. That was it, man. And she would have did Regina King or her name in the movie.
Treacherous Truth.
Yeah, she would have done anything to get him out. I don't think it really mattered, and his whole crew too. His whole crew would have did whatever it took.
They were loyal to him. And Stanfield's character on his own, the dude was bad enough. He could have had his own crew if he wanted to. Exactly. He was that cold and would have been formidable to anybody who was out there.
I think if they would have, even if, I know we talk about movies here and spoil it or whatever, but even if he would still take over, he could fit that mantra. He would take over and continue, I think. Unless Regina did. Either one of them could do it.
You even saw the flip side of that loyalty. Her to him and his confidence in her when she was like, you let Dion Cole be the mayor. He's like, he couldn't have did what you did.
Right.
I can let him do this. He can handle that.
Right. You took care of
everything. Right. And he was speaking from a point of view of, you knew I was getting out. It was just a matter of when I was getting out.
Right.
So I needed you to hold it down while I was gone.
Right. Exactly. And shout out to DJ Knox. Thank you for tuning in.
Show killer.
DJ Mad Knox.
The classic line when Jonathan Majors, I think that's when he came into Redwood, and he's like, so where's your boss? So what you mean my boss? Like her mouth the way
like nah, we ain't doing that.
Yeah, she was like, I ain't got no boss. This put my name on this. Idris Elba for me. Yeah, man, he was again didn't have very many lines, but he didn't need to at the end. If he didn't say anything the whole movie at the end, wow. Which we getting closer to that in a minute.
And speaking of that, before we go to that, the non-talking Idris Elba, we were talking about the bad guy. Dawk mentioned you've been rooting for the villain in this. Mm-hmm. He even shows you I'm not a villain at the end.
Mm-hmm.
When he walked up to the little boys, it was like, hey, let me show you this. Oh no, I ain't nothing. He let I'm a regular dude. It's just I'm in a situation. I got to do what I got to do to survive.
Yeah. And the fact of Stagecoach Mary, talking about ZZ Betts, to what she did to come into Redwood, really her against everybody. Like she told Nate Love to like, I'm gonna do this, and he's like, all right. I don't know if maybe he didn't believe her. He was like, all right, I'm gonna be there right after you. I guess was kind of the sense. But for her to just like ride into town knowing that she's gonna be
it was a
tortured.
death wish for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And she just went in there. She went in there and did what she had to do, and then kind of introduced Delroy Lindo, where he's gonna be taken in. Now that's the part I didn't. Was he just faking that he was taken in? Nate Love, or what? Or was that
they
more
talked about that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I the only thing I don't
know
know is if they came up with that before he even walked into the Stagecoach Mary's place, or if they came up with it at the table. Because you notice when the camera went away from him, when it came back, Nat's character was leaning into him, talking to him about something. Yeah. Right. And then that's when he got up and started saying, okay, now I'm going to take him in, et cetera, you know. So either way, they were both in on it. And what he was trying to do is get out of there and get to Redwood without the rest of them wanting to come. Because he knew if y'all come with me, it's a good possibility y'all die. Yeah. You know, so he didn't want to do it.
Right. Yeah. Right. All right. So let's get to the Maysville, man. The Maysville scene,
the white town,
right? Exactly. What they said when they said Maysville, and then parentheses it said it's a white town.
Like, no, it was literally both.
That was classic. I love
like the sand's white, the building's white, the people's white. Like what?
The gums is white, the back of their necks is white. Oh man! But that we got to see Cuffy, man, kind of step up her role, and she comes in there. Obviously, she's not used to wearing heels, not used to wearing a dress. She had to be convinced, but they just go in there, and that whole scene was, I think, one of the best in the whole movie, man. Because it just showed their like we're willing to do whatever, and this is easy money. They just went in there like this is easy money. You know, the hardest part is not what he said. The hardest part isn't robbing a bank. It's having to result to violence or something like that.
You said the hardest part is not killing somebody while robbing this bank.
Yeah.
So y'all can either make it hard.
And he said it's up to y'all whether this is hard or easy.
Right. Yeah. Now the opening when she's kind of walking in there and the lady's cracking a joke. Oh. And I'm like the kid watching my siblings getting a whooping. I'm like, you about to get it. Yeah. you done did it. You don't know who you're talking to. So that was a dope scene right there.
That was my favorite part. That's actually my favorite scene in the entire movie. Yeah. Because it's like, you know what? This your country, but this my world.
Yeah.
And I love this money. I mean, Cuffy was a dog to begin with. And, and
she was the bouncer or security.
She wasn't gonna let nobody run over either.
And no matter who it was.
Bust dude in his mouth and said that take him over there until he get out and he can get his guns when he get out of jail.
Right.
Yeah.
And dare him to try it again. Yeah. Right. That was nice.
Doc, you want to touch on that?
No, I agree. You know, like I said, I thought it showed Cuffy in a different light, and I thought it was a neat little twist for them to put her in the dress and stuff like that. You know, she even had problems getting back on the horse with that dress because she's not used to be like, shit, I can ride a horse with breeches on all day, you know.
Yeah.
So I thought it was neat, you know. And when the gig was up and it's like, okay, this is a robbery. She was really trying to get down with it. Like, I'm pissed off that I had to wear this dress, and y'all probably want to be right today, you know.
Right.
And then went, woo! I know I wasn't the only one that thought.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Charlotte is on it. Put that comment up right quick. There is absolutely no doubt about it that she was in love with Stagecoach Mary. Yeah. No doubt about it. And guess what? And Stagecoach Mary had love for her too. You know, and that's not to say that on one drunken night they didn't get together. Because guess what? When old boy Nat's character, whenever he was like at the end when they kissed, and she looked at him like, what you looking at? You know, or whatever. Like, what? It is what it is. Holla at you, you know.
Yeah.
So you on it. You are on it. She was loyal for a reason.
Yeah. All right. So as we
what you say, man?
They was doing the horizontal mambo.
You probably happy that camera.
Hang on, Wilks in the dream sequence.
Yeah.
What are you
Dream
dreaming
sequence.
about right now? Hey, every time you go to dream sequence, we need to know about your dream.
This horizontal mambo.
Wow.
Oh gosh. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to change my screen name to Dream Sequence. We need to change it.
All right.
I gotta get another camera, man.
So as they're kind of plotting on the outskirts of Redwood, and Dion Cole kind of appears with some guns and some ammo and dynamite.
Oh yeah, the whole
He just came out of the cut. It was like, where was you at? Where did you even come from? But he had his own.
That was the very first instance of a dude going to get his gun after he got beat up at the basketball court. All right, I'm gonna be back.
Don't be here when I get back.
I'm gonna be back.
You better be gone when I get back.
You better be gone when I get back.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't want no problems. I better be gone. But so they kind of end up riding in the town and we getting to the final. Kind of leading to the head. It's like the video game where you're about to fight the what they call it, the master at the end. At the end of it. So they kind of come in that Delroy Lindo scene where he's like, "Yeah, come and talk to me over here."
Yeah, let's walk.
Let's walk. So I'm like, okay, where is this going? And then he blows up that whole cart. And he was like, and you see the guy's arm. It's kind of laying there.
Was that the left one or the right one?
I didn't hear that line.
Yeah. That's the left arm or the right arm.
Yeah, so
it's an awesome movie.
That's how you knew it was on. You knew it was on, and I was waiting for Lakeith because Lakeith and the young cat. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but the sharpshooter. They were obviously they were about to have something was about to go down eventually because they already had.
Right.
They already had that kind of.
Yeah, they've been setting that up the whole movie. I heard there's this guy that's faster than you. Whatever.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, heck, he had a bullet with the dude name written on the bullet.
Yeah, exactly.
So he was in his feelings about that one.
Yeah. And he was obviously I knew he was about to get murdered though, because he was it's just that guy, that talks so much like Smokey or somebody. Like eventually something about that.
I mean, he had the warnings, and it's like
the Elroy character told him, "Say, young man, you playing too many games. This ain't. Them games gonna get you killed.
Yeah. And so he counting all slow, and classic Lakeith, like, man, why you people gotta count so slow? That was his response.
Right.
He count so slow.
But what did he say too? I shoot people in the mouth that talk too much or that deserve it.
Yeah.
Like, that was coming.
He said, "You shoot people in the back." He said, "I shoot people in the mouth who talk too much."
Yeah.
But now, as you get further along, he did have a history of shooting people in the back.
Yeah.
Because he shot Pickett in the back. He even see him, and then Cuffy was like, "Why you got to do that? Why don't you let him even turn around?" He didn't have a chance. Yeah. And he got shot.
Because that's another thing too. What's ironic about it is that they still held true to the sentiments of the West back then, because there was honor in that. It's like, I'm gonna give you. Everybody got a shot. Look, we got to beef with each other. Let's go settle it like men. We're gonna take these 10 paces and turn around, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
So they had some honor amongst thieves, so to speak.
Yeah.
Until there wasn't.
I'm with Lakeith, man. I'm with Cherokee Bill. If I got to shoot you in the back, you're gonna be dead, man.
Hey, they don't call it the Wild West for a reason, for nothing.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's survival of the fittest.
Right.
Yep.
Right. So they kind of getting into the showdown. We talked about that fight scene, between Treacherous Trudy and Stagecoach Mary, which that was I was ready to see that because that was already brewing.
That was coming.
Yeah. That was coming.
Yeah.
That was definitely coming. Now I had my money on Regina King though.
That was definitely what you say about me, ho. That's definitely That was definitely.
I'm sorry. I have my money on Regina King. But
you'd have got your money took because my beauty of the week beat that
ass. Yeah, I would have lost.
Wasn't having it.
Now let's fast forward a little bit. The end the very last scene, who was that standing there holding the hat though?
Oh, that was
Trudy.
because she didn't kill her.
No, she just hit her with the butt of the.
She knocked her out.
Yeah.
You know, which again, I don't necessarily get that, but that's what she did.
Speaking of knocking her out, man, Idris, man, he took that gun and whooped the teeth out that.
Oh,
thing.
didn't he, man? He on cold.
He's like, "Oh, this is what you want." Like,
did you see so smoothly how
Yeah.
Regina just slid
ended
him
it
with
with-
Gun.
Yeah. That ain't the first time that done happened.
No, that ain't the first time.
Get
You
my
talking about
pistol.
pistol whip somebody? Oh,
Yeah.
Man.
yeah.
He was like, "Hey,
Yeah, that hurt me, man.
Hey man,
Yeah.
get these teeth. That's why I want some money.
You gonna be rich.
Yeah.
Rich."
Like, man.
But yeah, she just nicely just slid that to him.
Yeah.
Hey, Deion Cole didn't have a chance though. Anyway,
Mhm.
Woof.
he didn't have a chance. But that,
In a fight, he had a shot.
Yeah,
Right.
Because he had popped him.
yeah.
Popped him a couple of
One
times.
time.
This what you want. This what you want.
Yeah, right.
That was over with though, real quick. And then he walks in at the end, and you got to try to talk to him. What you talking for?
Yeah,
You got time for talking,
Yeah.
and you holding dynamite. You just gonna keep
Yeah.
talking to him.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah, I didn't get that part at all.
Yeah.
But
When he said, goodbye, old friend, or whatever. Nigga, what you saying goodbye to me for? Yeah. I was done shooting right then. Yeah.
Right.
as soon as I would have seen something, I would have started shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of goes to the that's all hell's breaking loose. Everybody's shooting somebody.
Blew up the money.
Blew up the money, and then you could just see in he just had his eyes. He's like, damn. Look at his face. The whole point. It's the whole point. This whole thing going down.
$35,000 in the 1800s.
Oh yeah.
Man, that go a long way.
Man.
Yeah. And I don't know, was that all? I don't even think that was all of it though, because when they said when they went to go rob the Maysville, I don't think that was 3,500.
Yeah, because he mentioned then he mentioned something about putting 10,000 on top of it.
Somebody already had 10,000. Remember they talked about all we can scrape up is 10,000. The town already had 10,000.
Right.
And then they got 25,000 from the bank.
Right. And you got the one guy that's like, I ain't doing nothing. He was like, okay. Yeah, okay.
Tell God I said hi.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Yeah. What's your name? Oh, okay.
Yeah, right. That part was funny too. Was his name Charles or something like that?
James. Rest in peace, James. Man.
All right, so we get to that scene. You're at the end of Mario Brothers, and you're about to face Bowser or whoever, and you're thinking, okay, you know how this. It's just going to be a showdown. That's what I was thinking. So let's first talk about what did you think going into that scene? What did you think it was going to be like, HRap?
I almost thought he was going to forgive him. I didn't think he was going to kill him. I didn't almost think he was. Yeah. Initially, I thought he wasn't going to have the courage to kill him. Or it was because when I'm thinking, when you find out this is your brother, it's going to suck some of the venom out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Still mad about your father, but you at least, I'm thinking he going to want to, I didn't know how it was going to end because I'm like, is he going to want to know why?
Yeah.
Because Idris was pretty much saying, don't kill me, man. That's between me and our father. Yeah. It ain't got nothing to do with me and you. Mm-hmm. And I marched you so you could come back and talk to me about why I did it. I knew you would come get me.
Right.
And
but here's the rub. Here's the rub. You killed my mama.
Oh yeah,
that's my mama. Hey, yeah. You fine.
Your mama knew.
My daddy might have deserved it.
Right, but my mama.
Hey man, your mama might have been in on it too.
Yeah. Hey. And now he in on it. You can talk to him about it because y'all at the same place.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was, of course, I'm thinking, maybe a big shootout, but then I thought, no, Rufus Black. I keep calling him Black. Rufus Buck.
I see you, Charlotte, using that education, that foreshadowing. I heard you. Yeah. I learned about that in English class too.
I thought it was gonna be like a big shootout, but it wasn't. And then I had to think about that's not really Buck's style. That's not his to get into little things like that. He wants to talk and he wants to negotiate things. Yeah, he wants to control it, but he's not the man out here leaping across the table and shooting and twirling guns and all that. But
what it showed is it was out of his MO. You know, like he did a lot more talking with dude than he normally does. That's not his MO. So it's really was showing that he's got love for the dude. You know, he was more into the brother thing than the other dude was. You know, you know, so because like I said, he wasn't doing that talk. He had just proved to you when he killed Dion Cole character that I'm not going to do no whole bunch of talking, and they was boys. Yeah, he even said they were boys together. You know. So
hey, one thing before you say that, Ben. He was more down for the Soul Brother thing too, because he wanted that to be a black town.
Now, so going into that scene, my thoughts were they were just gonna put the guns aside and just fight. That's what I thought, because that seemed like the perfect ending of the movie. You just end up fighting to the death.
Right.
So that's what I initially thought. And then when you start telling the story, I'm like, okay, this is going somewhere. Like this isn't gonna be just a simple. So is he kind of telling the story, and I'm like, they can't be related, are they? And then that's what ended up coming down.
I definitely did not.
That's the big. That was the perfect ending that you did not expect. Exactly. Now to HRap's point, he was egging them on though. He was like, "Get your revenge." He said it multiple times, and like at some point, the whole movie this was his whole focus to get to him. So I knew he was gonna kill him. I just didn't know at to what point. When he kept saying, "Just go ahead and get your revenge, man. Go ahead and get your revenge." So I think initially he definitely wanted the brotherhood, and I think Nate was starting to think about it, but that anger was just.
And honestly, I was hoping for another twist. You know, leave his character just kind of wanting to be killed or wanting to die, and then just let him live a long life, or whoever.
That would have been dope.
Or they run the town together, because after he started telling them the story, he was starting to think about it like, well, he is my brother. Well, and you could just see his wheels are starting to turn. Like maybe I don't need to do this.
Right.
Yeah. So
I
felt like Idris was passing the torch onto his brother. I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
Now, when anybody else want to touch on that? So when he comes out and he gives Stagecoach Mary the hug, and she's like, "Is he?" What she say? Is the monster?
Oh, the devil dead.
Is the devil dead? And what he said, I don't know.
Yeah,
because it was like Charlotte is saying, it was almost like he was kind of passing that over to him, because they had the same. They kind of had the same path. They were doing the same stuff. Really, when it came down to it.
For different reasons.
And what we keep forgetting, that even though they were referencing him as the devil, and they said, no, I've seen the devil, he's white. So it was like, he's just a man. He can be taken down, but it was that reference though. But I thought that was just kind of like one of those things, like you said. You know, I don't know if he's dead, because maybe it's been passed on to me now. You know, but we'll see once we get out here and see what happens. But do we come back to this town and reestablish? You know, I don't know. Or do we go to Douglas and do it? You know, I don't know.
And then we fast forward a little bit, and they got the tombstones, the crosses, and he's got May Love on there.
Yeah.
So let's as we get kind of rounding out the show, let's touch on that real quick. Is that kind of burying his old self?
I think that was one for, like, you know, he's wanted, so maybe he got taken down in a gunfight or whatever. So they think, oh well, he's dead. They're off the trail. Now I don't know what name he would go by going forward, but like you said, this movie has so much potential to give you more, or give you a prequel or a sequel, you know. But I just think it was one of those, you know, he's already wanted, and maybe he want to hang his guns up eventually, and that man's dead, you know. But
there may be some symbolism in that. I think the chief reasoning was to get the bounty off his head, you know, because he had a $10,000 reward for his capture or whatever. But another thing, it may have been symbolizing to Stagecoach Mary, I'm done with that now. Because remember, when they got together, he thought he was through. And he thought Buck was not going to be getting out of jail. So he thought what he had went out to do, what he had set out to do was done, he thought. Yeah. You know, and so now it was really done. So now we can focus on our life together, you know. And even though she said we'll never be together, no matter how this ends up, obviously she didn't mean that. You know, they were gonna go ride off into the sunset together, you know.
Right.
So yeah, it was some symbolism, you know, but you know, I think to a certain extent he's gonna be done, but he gonna always be a killer. He a killer. Yeah. So if push come to shove, he gonna be that dude again if he got to, you know.
I ain't a killer, but don't push him.
Or he's taking on Rufus Buck.
Might be. That's another
possibly.
That's another aspect to that. Now, so did all of them ride off? Or I thought
they did, but they went in
Cuffy
different
was staying there as the sheriff or something.
I think she stayed, but they went in different directions toward the end there.
Okay. And so the ending to me definitely said there's something more to this. I hope there's a prequel.
With Cuffy and Delroy's character, she was gonna go be a deputy for him.
Be a deputy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they rode in one direction, and then Nate and Stagecoach Mary rode another direction.
Yeah, they went to California and
get it together. Go ahead, we'll give you some time. We'll give you some time, man.
I ain't gonna
see where you're trying to head with it. I see where you're trying to go, man. Hey, say from one comedian to another, sometimes the shit just don't come to you like you need it. You like, I got some gold here. If I can just
you going to California.
Yeah. Your processor. You need to update your processor. System updated.
Ramal, what's up, bro?
Ramal in the building. He looked like you just had a
grandson.
Baby. Oh, grandson. Okay.
Another Williams in the universe.
I heard that.
Nice. So at the very end, which in my back of my mind, I'm thinking, so Regina King's got to pop up at some point because I don't think she was dead.
They left her. Yeah, they left her.
They left it. They just kind of left it out there, and that's her standing there with the hat. So to me, that basically meant like, okay, there's got to be, there will be more to this. Not got to be, but there will be more. The question is what, what exactly will it be? But the success that Netflix is seeing in this, they already been like, hey, dude, work on the next one.
Yeah, you got to get the next one going.
And it's all about them dollars and cents. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense, baby.
Right. Exactly. They own something with this one.
And the scene behind me was actually the scene where they were kind of the face off there.
Yeah.
And then he kind of shut his eyes at the end. So it was kind of like he had to do this. He had to, but then he was like, maybe this is my brother, but I don't know if he fully believed it. I don't know if he fully believed it at all. Maybe at when he rode off, maybe he's thought about it more. So, but let's get to our final thoughts. The harder they fall. I think it was. This is a classic to me. This is a classic. The quality of actors in it. The new actors that you haven't seen before, Cuffy, the young kid. There was a lot, seeing Damon Wayans' son do a real role. I just appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, man. That warmed my heart.
I was about to give him the Bo King Woodbine Award, but
wow.
Yeah, like we don't know his name.
Second generation Fred Williamson.
But it lived up to it. It lived up to it. I purposely watched this the night before. I normally do that, but this lived up. I'm gonna watch it again. I'm gonna watch it again with my wife because she didn't get to see it.
It's good.
Wilks.
Once again, I really felt like it was a refresher, it was a reset, it's a reboot. I'd love to see more Black Westerns, whether they be real people with fictional stories, or they be fictional, or they be all more gritty, more serious, whatever it is. Maybe cattle drives, something like that. But it's one of those things done very well. Like, I enjoyed it. I love Westerns, so I liked it. I thought it was good. It had me hooked as soon as I saw it. I was like, oh man, I gotta watch this. This is already opening. I was like, this is good.
I was like, I can't get up.
Yeah, when he shot that priest, I was like, or priest, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, he here to kill a scorpion. I was like, man, and the significance of that in the beginning, where he put his hand on his shoulder and they showed that tattoo and he looked down at it. You know, that's another classic Western nod. It's like you're gonna remember that whistle, or you're gonna remember that the way he had the spurs on his boot, or there's something there like, yeah, that guy shot my dad down, or he shot my mom down. You know, it's one of those. I'm coming to get you.
Me ugly.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. I was good.
All right, HRap.
I mean, I can't say much more than what Will said. It was excellent from beginning to end. It's one of the few movies that I've seen in recent times that everything tied in. You know, we always end up when movies ends. When a movie ends, a lot of times we go, see, it could have gone this way, or it could have gone that way, or see, this is what I wish they would have. They tied up Seal brother tied up all the loose ends. He put a bow on the top and pushed it out there and said,
"Wow."
And gave you a cliffhanger too.
And hopefully we'll start calling him something else besides Seal brother. I bet you that's,
hey man,
that's not the way he wanted his review to go.
Hey, you should have been singing then, brother. You should have started singing because you Seal's brother. That's your name. You got to do 2 or 3 more movies before you get up out of Seal brother. I'm sorry.
Dawk.
Yeah, for me, man, I thought it was fantastic. It's see, one of the things that I pay very close attention to, because I'm a detail guy, I pay attention to people and businesses who are detail people, right? Mm-hmm. You know, you hear that siren, man?
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, it's like a siren.
But we all in funny, so it was something funny.
Something going on.
Yeah, right? And that wasn't no police siren.
No.
That was mine.
Somebody else. Oh, going down the street.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Chicago. I forgot. Yeah.
Hey, man.
So you know, when the first time I went to Disney World and I was at some of their little, you know, worlds, they call it, within Disney World or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, like when I was taking a tour, they were talking about how they actually had staff members chewing gum every day to actually go stick up under this bridge that was only a year old because they wanted to make it look like it was 300 years old. You know, those are painstaking measures, right? So even to the little details as far as giving Buck gold pistols that sat on the table immediately. That drew your eyes to it, and you were like bought into these pistols and wide-eyed, and you know. So again, when Stagecoach Mary came down, because up to this point she was just this figure. Stagecoach, this Stagecoach Mary place. Yep, you got to have your pistols at the door, and this whole scene or whatever. And she comes down using a rifle to establish the tempo of this song that she's about to sing, which sounded like an old Negro spiritual when she got to singing it, right? You know? So again, I think the painstaking measures they went to and the details they put into this, man, fantastic.
I think we got a consensus here with our ratings.
I don't think we do.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, probably not.
I'm going 5, man. I'm going 5 out the rip. Okay, we got 2 5s. Can I get another 5? Can I get a 5? Can I get a
Wilks, what you got?
I'm right there at the 4.5. I can't give it a 5 exactly. I can't give it a 5 exactly.
That's exactly where I was. So I'm at 4.5 mics.
Okay, explain. Who wants to go first?
I'll let Dawk.
Well, for me, you know, I compare it to other 5 mic shows, documentaries, or whatever that we've reviewed, and it just lacked it lacked what it needed to be 5 for me. You know, like to have a 5, you got to be, you know, it's got to be a home run in every aspect. And even though it was close to that, it wasn't just 100, right? So, for instance, if I had to nitpick it, you know, I mean, heck, we all know some of the gunplay and stuff wasn't finna go down. You're not gonna survive, you know, with all that. You know, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So again, but again, I don't begrudge anybody that, because those are the makings of a great movie. I just can't get you to 5. So again, for myself, it's a 4.5. You know. Which
And I
again,
would've-
no slouch, you know.
And like for me, I would have loved to seen that quick duel between Stanfield and the other guy.
That's right. Instead
I
of
just feel like they robbed the moment. Like I get the
Yeah.
point, but I
Yeah.
don't know. That was just me.
Yeah.
But I just can't give it
Well,
that 5. But
Yeah.
Well, with me, the reason I gave it 5 is because of the scene with the outrageous shooting. It because of the Lakeith Stanfield's part. Lakeith Stanfield's that guy. So Cherokee, what's his name? Cherokee Bill. Cherokee Bill said, "I ain't finna fight you, man.
yeah,
You might win."
Yeah.
I'm taking. I mean, it's like we've been trained and conditioned to believe that okay, stand there, and then right. It's about who's standing here when it's over. Cherokee Bill's like, okay, man, you playing, pow. You ain't worthy. I like that because, like as you stated, you saying, hey, that train scene, all that gunplay, somebody would have got hit. I think that was more realistic than like I didn't stand here and let you get a chance to kill me. Pow. Now, because at the end of the day, we live in the United States of America. The people who win tell the story. Cherokee Bill, like I won. Yep, I shot. I was 7 blocks down the street and shot him. We took 10 paces. I took 11. I was so fast.
He proved later what being in a duel would get him. That shot in the neck, in the carotid artery.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Good point. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, and what really put it over the top for me, the cinematography, the Easter egg, the fact that standalone church in the background.
Yeah.
I mean, these are classic cowboy staples.
Yeah.
And usually, I hate to say it, but our movies are not as eye-popping. It's just usually a good movie. But this movie was pow.
Yeah.
The colors were everywhere. The people played a role. And then, as you stated, it touched us. It was us all over this.
All over it.
Yeah. So I was
when it wasn't us, they was getting punked.
Right. Like I take you back to Posse. Posse was grimy and gritty and traditional cowboy movie.
Yeah.
But it wasn't this. This is us in all our splendor.
This was almost like a new standard.
Yes.
That's why I had to give it a 5. Like from the beginning, the shooting was going to be from the beginning when he shot the priest. I knew that this wasn't going to be let's walk 5 steps and turn around. So for me, my thought process was like, okay, I already know that. So now I'm going to see it for what it is. But I think this set a standard, man. Seal brother, man, you did a great job, Seal brother.
Where'd he go?
I'll get his real name.
James Samuel. Jameis Samuel.
I think his rap name is Bullets. He used to rap with Most Def.
Bullets,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. So I think this was one of the best reviews I think we've done, just because we've been on for 2 weeks, but this was just a real great quality movie. We did get a question. We have not done Black Boys documentary, but that is something we can do.
And this is the place to ask. That's a great question.
Yeah,
Lamar.
Do that.
And we'll also be doing more comedy reviews. We got a comment from one of the viewers that suggested we do a review each month with an old comic and a new comic. So we'll definitely be going towards that.
We got a throwback, movie to do too. We may can get both of those done this month by just reviewing the throwback comedy special. And that way we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone,
Yeah. We got 2 Mondays left. Next week we doing y'all on board the Kaepernick.
Yeah, that's cool.
With Ava DuVernay, I think she directed that.
Yeah,
check that out.
Appreciate you, Arnold Glass II, for tuning in. Big ups, man. You've been in the podcast game, both of us, for a while, so appreciate you for tuning in. All right, so if anybody has anything else to say, we're gonna kick it to
let Will say what dream he having right now.
Well, I guess I'm stuck in this loop. I don't know what's going on with this dream sequence.
Hey, Ben, you got to get that piano playing.
Yeah, really. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, I'm gonna kick it to HRap and Dawk to talk about their shows for tomorrow. But make sure to find us on a Roku. If you have a Roku device or a Roku TV, you can find BS3 TV right there. Download it. Also, give us a 5-star review on there. Check out all of the great content. Queen 3 and King is on there. This show is on there. Man Talk Mondays. We got new shows. Cigar Chronicles doing an amazing job. Life Happens. We really have something for everybody, and that's what we're focused on. So, all right, HRap, what you got coming up tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I'm gonna start off with a little controversy about Kyle Rittenhouse. Talking about why the hell are we paying attention? Why do we care?
Right.
Exactly. I can barely talk right now.
This dude, look, this is the sad part. They tried to say it was PTSD that made him do that, but I'm like, hold it. PTSD only happens when something happens to you.
Thank you.
So, are you saying that black dude that kicked you in the face made you have PTSD? You know?
That quick?
And believe it or not, man, I'm talking about some civil rights violations.
Yeah, Wilks talking about that quick.
Right.
Go get the tampon out your ass, bro.
Wow.
But if we are going to watch
case,
man, if we're going to watch that case, we need to be looking at the civil rights violations.
Oh, actually, all over it, but they don't want to.
But I'm going to talk about the civil rights violations tomorrow. I'm going to talk about we are in an inflection point. Is with all this voter suppression. We need to re-socialize our kids. I have since we live in a world of conspiracy theories, I have one hell of a conspiracy theory about the COVID, the coronavirus. It's gonna be interesting, and I'm gonna talk about what the re-socialization of our children. I'm gonna talk about how this whole meta universe thing is the reason.
Metaverse,
because we gotta re-socialize our kids. Otherwise, the end is now. So, man, please, if you know what, if you never ever tune in to the end of the bench, please tune in tomorrow because I need people to hear this. And it is purely a conspiracy theory. It is pure speculation, but it's one of those. It's a one hell of a what if.
Yeah, and it's not far-fetched. I don't even know what you're gonna say, but I know the things that we think are not far-fetched at all because we've seen it at some degree.
Right, 6 p.m. tomorrow. Built for This Network on Spreaker.com and the end of the bench on YouTube. Please, I mean, like I said, man, if you never ever listen to my show again, or if you've never listened, you're like, hey, man, fat big head guy is a funny guy from Chicago with the police outside his house. Shut up. But I need you for real, man. I'm serious because the re-socialization, the civil rights violations, and the potential. Just imagine if I'm right with this conspiracy theory. So if I get cancer anytime soon,
I was gonna say, if you're right, say, bro,
get cancer, and I'm
it's been real.
No, but for real, man, it's just it's one hell of a potential conspiracy, and if I'm right, if we don't start re-socializing our kids, it is over because we are in an inflection point nationwide, and that judge is showing you why you need. Like and here's full disclosure: I'm not a big political go rock the vote guy, but that judge is showing you why you need to vote locally.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
My man. But yeah, man. I mean, the young Williams on that picture, your daughter being your son, your grandkids, dog, my future grandkids. If we don't start re-socializing our kids, because we dealing with Debo, they got mind control.
Yeah, that's real.
And I'm telling you, man, like I said, if you never ask anybody to watch my show again, please have them watch it tomorrow just for the idea of what I'm going to say. And then you got your float, dog.
All right, tomorrow, Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. on BS3, Roku TV, on YouTube, on you name it, whatever you get your
Twitter,
podcast, Facebook. Queen 3 and King will be discussing acting black and talking white. Acting black and talking white. And it is exactly what it sounds like. So this ought to be an interesting topic. Can you act black? Can you talk white?
Yeah.
Dozy.
Find out.
You can talk about Kim Doziak. What was that lady's name?
Rachel
Dolezal. Hit an NAACP.
And I can't see, and I have to say, I was stalking her IG page. Like, how many black people just welcome her in, and like they just like she was okay. Like, y'all chatting with this lady like it's cool.
See, dog. That's why we got to make the cookout exclusive.
Like, what? Y'all acting like this lady didn't like. What?
Thank you, Wilks.
I'm like, what the hell going on?
That's why we got to make the cookout exclusive.
Yeah, she was taking notes at the cookout. On the napkins.
See, dog.
Because I'm like, y'all on here supporting this woman and all this, and no.
Right there with Ben. Right there with Wilks.
I'm not convinced.
I can't.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. See, Dog's thing is we need to invite people to the cookout. My thing is we need to have a universal cookout that everybody can come to and we can mix and mingle. And then
everybody can bring that nasty potato salad.
She got
right. See, they're gonna be trying to bring the raisins, man. I'm just saying, you know, the raisins is coming.
Raisin and carrots in your damn potato salad. Your damn fruit salad. Nah, man, we ain't doing all that.
Goddamn fruit cocktail with the syrup. No
syrup juice and pineapples and carrots and raisins. We ain't doing that, man.
See, dog, you got the
if you really think one example is gonna convince me
I'm
that I
just
got
saying.
the proof, I got all this pudding over here with proof in it. Are you kidding me?
Man, see, you got pudding.
Yes, we do too.
Yeah.
Yes, we do too.
Now you got us eating rice pudding.
Bread pudding. Rice pudding. But if you give me a good swirl of that chocolate and vanilla, I'll do that.
Put some Quaaludes in it. Shout out to Charlie. Shout out.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah. Crosby Squirrel.
Yeah. Hey, dog, I'm just saying. I ain't saying, but I'm saying.
Nah, you'll never convince me of that.
I'm telling you, man, and the cookout got to be cut off.
You ain't gotta cut it off. You just gotta cut it off.
Remember Total Recall with the funny hand? Yeah, stick it on there. If you can't stick your hand on there, you can't come.
Let's get out of here. We get kick it to you, HRap.
Y'all already know, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Salute to Reggie O'Shea, aka Combat Jack, the Pod Father. When I say dream those dreams and man up and woman up and live those dreams, because life without dreams flows in black and white. Life with dreams flows in technicolor surround sound. And salute to Craig Smith. And with that, y'all already know if I ain't got it. If I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.